Earlier this month, our planet set yet another new record for carbon dioxide, the greenhouse gas most responsible for heating our planet. The level reached 418 parts per million. That's 35% higher than in the 1800s.
Well, sadly, every year it's a new milestone.
That's Dr. Ralph Keeling, the son of Charles Keeling, the namesake of the famous Keeling curve. It vividly illustrates carbon dioxide concentrations catapulting during Keeling's 40-plus years sampling CO2 levels at Mauna Loa Observatory in Hawaii.
He thought that there would be a consensus to do something about the problem about the point in the mid-90s when it was clear that temperatures were changing.
15 years after his father's death, Dr. Keeling is still carrying out the family's climate legacy. He's a geochemist at Scripps, the same place his dad worked. Keeling is also echoing his father's concerns about the planet's condition.
It's been at least 3 million years and maybe a lot longer since the carbon dioxide levels were ever that high in the past. So we're moving into uncharted territory, and worst of all, we're moving faster than ever.
It's happening so quickly that Keeling is worried about the heavy burden his own children will have to bear.
I look at the generations ahead and I say, wow, there are going to be some real challenges out there. Challenges that relate to populations moving and economic impacts of climate change, direct threats to human health and safety, catastrophic storms, fires. I mean, a lot of that's already touching us in some ways.
As a result of the global quarantine, emissions are forecast to drop around 6 to 8% in 2020. But Leah Stokes, a professor at UC Santa Barbara, cautions that's just a drop in the bucket.
I think we're all seeing the limits of, staying home and not flying and maybe eating locally.
Stokes says the public has been fooled by polluting industries, made to feel guilty about how our personal choices affect the environment. But this pandemic shows each one of us can only do so much.
I believe it is government action that is very necessary. None of us can choose to unilaterally live in a low-carbon society that isn't polluting. We're all locked into a system that has a lot of carbon pollution.
More than 60 years after Charles Keeling laid the groundwork to tackle the climate challenge, we understand more clearly than ever that the road ahead will be tough. But Stokes affirms we now have the know-how, resources, and technology to solve it by directing our collective investments towards a clean economy.
I would encourage people to remember the Moonshot Initiative, to remember World War II. The United States has taken on really big challenges in the past.
And these are challenges we have overcome and become better by facing them head on. Jeff Berardelli, CBS News.